So Amanda has been missing since May 2nd of 2000 from Flemington, New Jersey. She is a white female. She was 20 years old at the time she went missing. She will be 45 years old today. At the time she went missing, she was 5'6" to 5'7" and 140 pounds, with red hair and hazel eyes. She has a tattoo of a sun and moon on her right ankle and a floral pattern tattooed on the back of her neck. Her ears are pierced. She was last seen wearing a white t-shirt, blue jeans, and gold rings. And it says that she was taking antidepressant medication at the time that she disappeared. Amanda was last heard from on May 2nd, 2000. She resided in a rented home, which was on Greenwood Place in Flemington. During the early morning hours, she chatted on the internet with a friend from Texas about Amanda's plans to take her children and move to Arizona, which is the place of her birth, to live with her father. She said that she was upbeat at the time. She was looking forward to the move. Amanda spoke to a Canadian friend on the phone before going to bed at around 6:30 a.m. After that, she has never been heard from again. So Amanda's husband, Matthew, he was a Marine Corps captain. He was named as a suspect in her case several months after her disappearance. He and their two young daughters were visiting his parents in New York on the day that Amanda was last heard from. So I'm wondering, if it was a pre-planned visit, but then again, it could coincide. You may not be a little suspicious, but if it was just a last spur of the moment, here, the kids are going to come visit you, might make you think. So Amanda married Matthew when she was 16 years old. The relationship was reportedly happy until the family moved to New Jersey 6 months prior to Amanda's disappearance. So apparently when they moved to New Jersey, Amanda became depressed and she decided to leave her husband and seek a divorce. So the police were called to their residence 2 days before her disappearance due to a domestic dispute, but no violence had occurred. No charges were filed. Matthew, the husband, has never been charged in Amanda's case, and he has stated that he believes she left of her own accord, possibly with someone that she met on the internet. So authorities have investigated all of her known internet acquaintances, however, and all her internet acquaintances have been cleared of involvement in her case. So what does that leave us back to? Stranger or somebody close to you? Her disappearance remains unsolved, obviously. So if you have any information on Amanda's case, you can call the Raritan Township Police Department at 908-782-8889. And like I said, I think I have it pulled up. Yes, so I'm just reading off of a PDF that I downloaded, and it is from March 22nd of 2001. It was when this newspaper article came out. Police still seeking solution in mother's disappearance. Amanda Carroll, a mother of two daughters, has been missing from her home near Flemington since May 2nd, 2000. Authorities and family members don't expect to see her again, so apparently they believe that she is deceased. At the anniversary of Amanda's disappearance, as the anniversary of Amanda's disappearance approaches, her 26-year-old husband, Matthew, remains the primary suspect in his wife's disappearance, and this is according to Raritan Township Police Chief Fred Brown. But there is not enough evidence to arrest the husband. Mr. Carroll, once again, a Marine sergeant who was working in South Island, at the time of his wife's disappearance, vanished from the area soon after reporting her missing. So there's another red flag. If I'm reading this correctly, shortly after he reported her missing, he left. Make sure I read that right. So Mr. Carroll, Marine Sergeant who was working in South Island at the time of his wife's disappearance, vanished from the area soon after reporting her missing. So yeah, he left for some reason too. But Brown said his departure was voluntary. He took the furniture and his children to Long Island to live with his parents. Neither Mr. Carroll nor his attorney returned phone calls. There's rarely a day that goes by, but there's certainly never a week that goes by that we don't discuss the case and come up with any more leads, said Brown, who was interviewed for this article with Detective Benedict Donnarumma. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. We tried to do a monthly meeting ourselves and the Hunterdon County Prosecutor's Office to discuss any new leads or avenues that we can take to continue this investigation, and we're going to continue that. This is not going to go away. We're going to keep it up until we get some type of closure with this. For Mrs. Carroll, Amanda's father, Floyd Whitey White, of Wickenburg, Arizona, her disappearance seemed a mystery at first. Now, White says he wonders why Mr. Carroll hasn't been more involved in the probe. If he, Matthew, says he's still in love with the mother of his children, why doesn't he cooperate? Excellent question. Mr. Carroll, the husband, has refused to take a polygraph test. He won't answer questions. He has invoked his Fifth Amendment rights and never calls to ask about the investigation. And this is according to law enforcement Brown. Amanda, who is 3 weeks shy of her 21st birthday when she disappeared, was in high school and living with her mother, Donna, in Carlsbad, California, when she met her future husband through a friend. The Carrolls were married in February of 1995 in the chapel at Camp Pendleton in Oceanside, California, where Matthew was stationed. White was living in Wickenburg at the time, which is about 5.5 hours drive away, and saw the couple about every 6 weeks. White said Matthew was very quiet. We never had any deep discussions, but he seemed to be minding the kids all right, but he was not outgoing. The Carrolls, along with their daughters, Jenna and Madeline, were transferred to New Jersey in 1999. The family moved into a home on Greenwood Place off of Route 202 around July 4th, and Mr. Carroll began working as a recruiter in Somerville. Amanda did not like being a military wife, but did not mind it at Camp Pendleton because of the families. White said Matthew's hours are regular, and he did have weekends off. However, in New Jersey, White said his daughter Amanda did not have a car, a job, or friends. Last January, White, an Army veteran who had been stationed in Maine, Texas, and California, came to visit his daughter for a week. Mr. Carroll was working 10 to 12 hours a day in South Island. Amanda would prepare dinner at 6 p.m., and Matt would call and tell her he had to work overtime. White, who I believe is Amanda's father, said, and he'd just go off to bed. She would just go off to the bedroom and cry. It was like that almost every night. Because of marital problems, Amanda, who was born in Arizona, decided to move with the children to her father's home. White said his daughter bought him a plane ticket so that he could fly to Indianapolis, where she would meet him a few days after, renting a truck to haul furniture, and this was around May 2nd. The prior weekend, Mr. Carroll, the husband, had taken the children to his parents' home. He told his wife he was returning to New Jersey with the girls May 2nd and will be there at around 3 p.m. Instead, he returned home alone before 11 a.m. and found his wife missing. Brown phone records and interviews show that about 6:15 that morning, Mr. Carroll spoke by phone to a Canadian friend. Mrs. Carroll, Amanda, had spoken by phone to a Canadian friend that she had met on the internet. Shelley, who is in Indiana, called the Carrolls' home about 11 a.m. and the husband answered the phone. The husband was very agitated and said that Amanda was never going to see the kids again. So he's not doing himself any favors. I'm just going to say that. He said she was gone and had left her wedding ring on the television. Before May, White said he had talked to his son-in-law and he said he was okay with his wife's move to Arizona. White last talked to his daughter about 3 p.m. the day before she supposedly disappeared. The last time she talked to him, get back down to the top of it's hard reading off these PDFs. The last time she talked to him, her friend in Canada, she was all excited about coming out. At 11 a.m., Matt's there, and he's very upset and agitated, and it doesn't seem like she changed her mind in that time limit. He says, I would like him to talk to the police and take a polygraph about that missing time. Absolutely. After finding his wife missing, Mr. Carroll knocked on the doors of his neighbors with whom he had never had contact since he'd moved there, asking if they had seen his wife. Mr. Carroll reported his wife missing to a patrol team at around 11:15 p.m. on May 3rd. He told police she had taken a purse, a makeup bag, a cell phone, which has not been used since, with her. For about 2 weeks, Brown said police leaned in favor of Mr. Carroll, the husband's story. He came back within a couple of days and moved every one of the belongings out of the house, so there was no crime scene that we were able to get anything out of. It has been a tough case. The empty home was searched by township and state police, and no clues were found. The FBI and Marine officials have also assisted with the investigation. Evan Stark, an associate professor in public administration at Rutgers University in Newark, has interviewed hundreds of people, researched about 5,000 and testified in about 100 trials involving domestic disputes. Stark said his research also includes military families. We know, of course, when that is the most dangerous time in any kind of relationship with DV. The most dangerous time is when usually the female is trying to leave. He says, we know, of course, when that's the most dangerous time, either when the guy senses separation or when she separates. That's when he senses the complete loss. Stark said, if White's stories about Mr. Carroll missing dinner and his wife's reactions are true, it is a common problem. So she's crying not only because he didn't come home for dinner, but if she does cook, is it going to get cold? And I think it cut off the rest of the... Well, you get the gist of it. That's just, to me, some very... Most definitely would be looking at the husband. But I'm sure you guys have some opinions.